Most visitors come here for the trees, the trail, the sound of the creek, but few realize they're walking through what once was one of the most critical arteries of the Union war effort. This is Mill Creek Greenway in southeast Nashville. Quiet now, but not long ago. It echoed with the wheels of supply trains and the boots of soldiers. From 1862 to 1865, this landscape supported the Union's push deep into the Confederate South. The railroad lifeline, the Nashville and Chattanooga Railroad, ran parallel to this very trail. It wasn't just a track, it was a lifeline. After Union forces secured Nashville in early 1862, this route became essential for moving troops, ammunition, and food southward. General Rosecrans and later General Sherman relied heavily on this line to support operations in Tennessee and Georgia. But a lifeline needs protection, and that's where the blockhouses came in. These small wooden forts, just big enough for a few dozen soldiers, guarded key points along the line, especially the bridges. Blockhouses and attacks somewhere along this trail, possibly underfoot, stood blockhouse number 2. Built to guard a bridge over Mill Creek, it was one of many scattered along the route. These structures weren't glamorous: a few logs, some trenches, and watchful eyes. But they were often all that stood between Confederate raiders and the collapse of Union supply lines. On December 2, 1864, Confederate cavalry under General Abraham Buford tried to take this very bridge. They fired shots, caused chaos, but the blockhouse held, a small outpost, holding the line in a war that depended on movement. Siegent 3, Confederate Raids. Throughout the war, Confederate forces struck at the railroad in hit-and-run attacks. Men like Nathan Bedford Forrest and Joe Wheeler were masters of this kind of warfare. They'd slip through the trees, sabotage the tracks, torch bridges, and vanish before Union reinforcements could respond. Near here in 1863, one such raid destroyed a Union train near Mill Creek. Survivors reported sudden gunfire, flames, and the terrifying sense that help was miles away. For every battlefield you've heard of, there were 100 places like this where the war lived and breathed quietly. The people in the land, the Union Army's presence along Mill Creek, wasn't just soldiers and forts. Civilians lived here: farmers, families, even freed slaves. Some helped the Union, others sympathized with the Confederacy, still others just tried to survive. These woods saw patrols, these trails may have carried horses pulling wagons, and this creek, it was both obstacle and refuge. After the war, these stories faded. The blockhouses disappeared, but the land remembers, if you know where to look. Trail of Tears connection. Decades before the Civil War, this land bore witness to another painful journey. In 1838, part of the Cherokee Trail of Tears passed near Mill Creek. The Taylor detachment camped just a few miles from here. Cold, exhausted, dispossessed. Their path would cross the same terrain that soldiers later marched over. Different wars, same soil, echoes of the past. Walking this trail now, it's hard to see the scars. Trees have grown back. The creek flows freely, but the line between peace and conflict runs thin. Imagine the smoke of burning trestles, the shouts of Union guards manning a bridge, the sharp report of gunfire as raiders burst from the tree line. It happened here. Quiet war, loud consequences. Mill Creek doesn't have a monument, no marble statues or bronze plaques, but if you listen closely, beneath the rustling leaves and the turning wheels, you'll hear it. The war beneath the trees, the railroad that fed a campaign, the history hiding in plain sight.